video.
Well, I went back in time and I got my hair. Went back in time, we'll get Steelers Nation Australia headband. We'll get you some like high socks. We'll get you some like these shorts.
Hey,
shorts.
you're standing up. Hey, easy.
Yeah.
It's like Balls of Fury.
So when JJ52 says, will Ray Gun make the 53? No, she's cut.
If you're not going to take Ray Gun, I know a place in Western Pennsylvania where she'll fit right in. Right at the cookie table at a wedding.
She could be my second string long
Call her
snap.
Dr. Boogie or her Dr. Get Down and tell her she has a PhD in Get Down. Like, play the music,
You know what? If she'd had some bling, and looked like LL Cool J and I'm gonna knock you out, she might have won.
Alrighty, Steelers Nation, welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. Also, welcome back to Steelers Dynasty Podcast. Fellas, I might have fucked up already because it might not send out the notifications that it should do because I set it to 9:15 again, and then I changed the time, so people may not get this. This could be the video that no one sees.
Like last week, everyone was bitching when they came on. We went an hour and a half. People came on late, and they're like, well, where were you? But we still had a lot of folks on.
Yeah, this might take time. So how the YouTube thing works is I think you get like 3 notifications per like pushed out to the people from your channel. And what I've noticed is that it's like it needs to be before half an hour. And that wasn't. That was like a change of like last 5 minutes.
Right.
So we'll see how it goes. See who comes in. Sometimes YouTube stuffs up though. YouTube stuffs up all the time. But it was set for 9:15. Now it's set for now. Right. So here we go. Z's here. George, that's all we need. Z and George.
We got enough people to keep talking for as long as we want.
Hey, Bubba.
Yeah, I think because
I just sent you something on Messenger. It's a football fundraiser. If you could pull it up sometime, if you could pull it up.
What the hell is that?
And hopefully, too, my audio is better this week. I'm gonna try and.
That's better.
I turned the gain up a bit, like the volume. But I will
What
be getting
is
probably
that?
a microphone.
What I sent you?
It's about Dan's company 401k contributions.
No, that's not it.
You're sending me stuff that you don't want me to say? I don't know.
No, I don't even know what that is. I sent it again.
Oh, wait. I was reading the wrong part. It was AI.
Goddamn AI.
I know. It's so crazy. Like, I don't know what's real.
George, how you doing? George, I got to send your shit out, brother. I think you won. And I lost my notes.
What did George win? A T-shirt?
Yeah, he won a T-shirt, but thank God it worked out because I'm not going to send you the Fitzpatrick one since that Fittard is not here anymore. You're going to get Pat Fryer. You're going to get old Fryermuth here.
You reckon he stays? Reckon he's here next few years?
I read an article before I went out and did some yard work about the last general manager. The only 2 players that they have in his last 5 years of the draft is Pat Friermuth and Alex Highsmith, with a slight situation with Calvin Austin if he can make it or break it this year. 3 players under Colbert's last 5 years that are still on the team.
Let me bring that up. It was
that's not good.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
I know. I mean, I'm not getting negative. I'm just saying that there should be a lot more Steelers still part of the team. So it seems like the Steelers now are new and under the Omar Khan regime that are.
It just shows you that Omar Khan's doing his thing too. This is the article you're referring to. It's from 2018 to now.
Yeah,
is that the one you're referring to? All the players that
I am, and they were talking about the 3 players that had an impact was Highsmith and Friermuth, and then hopefully Calvin Austin. They never said anything about Loudermilk or Mason Rudolph. But now you got a lot more than there's. And I went to high school that I can't add, so there's a lot more people, and Cam Hayward.
To be fair though, some of these fellas are out of the NFL right now.
Yeah.
I don't know where James Washington is. I don't know where Marcus Allen, he's gone. Samuels is gone. Frazier, Bug's gone. That's how the NFL works, and it's around a 3-year window. But you'd hopefully try and you can't sign everyone to a big contract. The NFL's tough,
No.
right? But yeah, McFarland, he was in the I think UFL. Dotson is with the Rams. Devin Bush is now a Brown. Minka got traded back there. Claypool's trying to come back, but that won't happen. He had an injury. He won't come back to the Steelers.
Ah,
There's no way. There's no way he comes back. So that was Kevin Colbert's last 5, and of course you can. It's bad, but at the same time, I think it's just business.
look at 2019. Not a 1. Like, that's terrible.
Well, Bush didn't work out, did he? Jonathan Johnson, he didn't work out. So Benny Snell was meant to be the belt, like the bruiser on the goal line didn't work out.
Do you remember guys that when Benny Snell had 100 yards on Monday night against the Giants? And I mean, I was drinking the Benny Snell Kool-Aid, and now I don't even know what he does.
No, you could have one good game. Well, it's like I used to like Jalen Samuels, and he had a good game against the Patriots too.
Mm-hmm.
But this is how football works out, and you can't pay everyone. But it doesn't look too good. But I would love, you know what? If we had more time, maybe we can see what other teams do, and it's probably exactly the same.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just NFL players don't stick around more than 3 years. They're in and out.
Jared says that Snell's still on the team.
No. He's just playing devil like he does. He's just Jared Devil knows.
I had someone tell me they was on the team years back, and I was like, "You fucking moron! He's off. He's not here."
I don't even know if he's playing football anymore.
I don't think so.
No, I think he's out. But that's just all part of the I think the program really. And yeah, Pickett didn't work out. Haywood, he could be. I think he might be maybe a cut depending. Leal hasn't worked out as well. Chris Oladukin is Super Bowl champion with the Chiefs back up. He parades those rings out like he actually fucking won it, which he didn't.
He's like this.
Yeah, he loves it on Instagram. Mark Robinson, I think he's done a few teaming stuff. Calvin Austin is probably one of the best ones out of those. 2022. So, and we have most of our guys from I think 23, 24, right? I think everyone's there from 20 to 24. So
that 2018 to 2022 is not a good scouting and draft because you're thinking you got something, and it's like you're looking at a sports car and you drive it right off the lot, and it's a lemon.
Well, it doesn't seem like there was a plan. Like, where's the O line? Where's building the O line the first few rounds? When's
the first in 2018? It looks like the 4th round was a lineman.
Yeah, Corfu. Yeah, he played right tackle for a bit.
And in 19, there was no lineman. 2020.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they reached. To me, they went and got Najee Harris, and that was kind of a reach, really. Claypool
I like Najee. I still do.
Yeah, but maybe at that position was a bit of a, you know.
Yeah, but it was a subtract. It was an addition with what we have now because of the explosive plays of Jaylen Warren and Johnson. Now I heard that with.
Sorry, that was the guy's name who said he was still on the team. Some guy on YouTube said, well, he was having a conversation with me in the live chat saying that it was still, or in the comments saying, "Hey Mark, you're an idiot. Benny Snell's still on the team." I said, "No, he's not."
Oh, and
I can't handle that. Like if you tell me something that's fucking not true and you try and convince me it's true and I know it's false, I lose my mind. I can't handle that.
Well, when you had the proof, what'd he do after that?
Well, it's probably just like, oh, my bad. Sorry, it's okay. But when they go after you and say, you're Australian, you don't know what's going on. You don't know that this person's here. And I'm like, he's not there. There's no way I know he's gone. He's gone. You know, I just can't handle when someone says you're wrong and you know you're right. And it's like, someone tried to tell me that Benny Snell was on the team wearing 24. And I was like, no, Joey Porter's got the number, bro. He's like, no,
and they did that recently?
Yeah, like 2 years ago.
Oh my God.
No, man, the council team's not even there. Anyways, that's just one of my pet peeves. That and traffic lights. I hate traffic lights when you're fucking 5 meters away from traffic lights and they go and jaywalk and they can't wait and push a fucking button. Like, I don't understand. And then you're driving past them on the main road and you see them waiting to try and get across the roads. And at the same time, you're thinking, well, what way could get you over the road if only there were traffic lights? and they wait and stand there the whole fucking time,
Don't
like
hit 'em.
about 10 minutes. And all you got to do is push a button to get some magical device that stops the whole world and gives you a chance to go over the road. However, the people in the main road where I live at just stand there for 10 minutes trying to figure out how to get over the road. Magical button right in front of you.
Sorry. I just can only imagine over there in Australia, they're not pushing the button, they're just staying there. Why can't we get across the road? Why? Why?
It's my overall pet peeve because I live on the near
that's
main road,
funny.
right? And there's
That is
the traffic
funny.
lights near me, and when I drive past there to go to work, and there's like some young bum or whoever, or family or whoever, and they're just like, looking past, looking left, looking right, trying to get over, and they're about 10 meters from a traffic light, right? Like from a crossing, and then we're standing there, and they're trying to get through a busy road. However, they can't get over. How would you get over them, Bubba?
Well,
Use the lights.
In America, I would press the button, and in my hometown of Indiana, the actor, Jimmy Stewart, the impersonator, Rich Little, actually is like, now crossing the street. Well, cross. I can't do Jimmy Stewart, but he tells you to cross the street.
It's time to cross the street now.
Yeah, that's it. Shane got it.
Well,
We have one. We have you push a button, it goes walking like that. You know. Yeah, but I'm just saying because like if you're 50 meters away or 51 meters away, and it's an easier route to go to the lights and takes a bit longer to walk your little feet, right? It takes a bit more few steps, but you get over quicker than the other route. I think it's insane. I just think people are insane. Anyways, this channel knows about that, and that's my 24-hour stream is going to be just about that on August 10th.
August 10th. What day is that?
That's the Jags game.
Yeah, because I watched you in DB, and you're like, hey, DB, can you come on for 5 hours?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna just probably start it, and I'll just go to lunch or something, and you guys can run it for me. You know, it'd be great.
Okay.
Just
for a couple hours. We'll do like a 3-hour shift, kind of like pulling
I'm gonna go get some lunch. I'm gonna go get a burger. I'll be back.
I gotta take a nap.
Shane, Bubba, I'll see ya. You go down and walk down to your little pub there you go to, and put your little phone up on the bar while you're eating the burger. And I'm like, I got to go back now. You know, my marathon, I had to tap out. I got to tap back in.
Yeah. Now we'll figure something out. Honestly, good as it really frustrates me when I see people waiting on they're 10 meters away from the lights. And what route would get you over there the quickest would be the lights to push the button. And then they don't do it. They just wait there frustrated saying, oh, there's no break in traffic. How the fuck do you break traffic? Use the lights. Pet peeve. Number one pet peeve.
Wow.
There you go. So, hooly dooly. I have no idea what that means. My 23rd anniversary is, as in like marriage.
Wedding.
Yeah, there you go. Happy anniversary. Alrighty, guys. So we are here today. It sounds like I'm doing we're here today. Now, we're here today to celebrate Pittsburgh, right? It has been, how many years, Bubba, is that from 1933 to
Jesus, asking a guy who math sense. I know it was 1933.
Yeah, but how many years?
33 to
88?
2000. Is it 88?
92, it says on Google.
92. Yeah.
See,
92.
72 plus 8, carry the 5, times the 4. I always say it's the greatest franchise of all time.
92 years.
Of all time. 92 years.
And Shane, what were you saying too in the black and gold room? You're saying that how much money did they purchase it for?
Oh, we're talking 10 grand. Bubba's told us 10 grand. That's what I heard too.
Well, our senior gambled, and I think he won, and then he put 10.
With who?
I think he bought it for $10,000 because he did a lot of gambling back in that time.
A little bit of gambling, what I heard.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine buying the Pittsburgh Steelers for $10,000, like a Ford Festiva? Yeah, like a Ford Festiva.
A house was like $1,200, $1,500 for a house back then in the 30s.
10 grand.
So that'd be like $500,000, $600,000. I'm gonna look it up, see what 1933
I mean, make sure I could be wrong about the 10 grand. I'm not right anymore
Right.
at all about
I think it was
anything.
something like that. But how much money would that be? Would that be like $1 million back then?
Well, and then you got to see what the Steelers are worth now.
Billion. Okay, $10,000 is the equivalent of $247,000 today, based on the U.S. inflation.
That's still not that much, is it? We could all chip in and buy that.
The three of us could buy the Steelers in 33. We could have bought it, all three of us.
Are worth.
So for now, a billionaire or millionaire organization, worldwide organization, NFL, 6-time Super Bowl champions for $10,000. Oh, it might have been cheaper. I think he's right. I think George is right. I think it was cheaper.
I'm gonna look now. I
think it was.
I'm probably wrong.
I'm putting what they're worth now in the chat.
$3.1 billion.
Wow, I can't afford that.
Yeah. And people are asking the Roonies to sell the team.
Who's gonna buy it? Elon Musk. That's what I thought a week ago from fake news. I was like, Mark, did you see this?
Elon Musk bought it.
I shared that with you, thinking it was true.
Yeah, they're all fake news though. Those
you gotta watch what. I mean, it's just crazy. And you know what? It is right. He is right. $2,500.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, $2,500. Yeah.
So that would have been even less, guys.
You know what I'm thinking? The $10,000. He was going to pay Bruno Sammartino to be an offensive lineman for $10,000, and Bruno said no to Art Sr. because he would make more money in wrestling. Because other than that, Bruno would have been an offensive lineman for the Steelers instead of a wrestling champion. He made more money wrestling than he would playing football for the Steelers. That's where I got the $10,000.
He bought it for the price of a Ford pickup truck.
$2,500 is like a big screen TV.
$61,000 in today's money.
Let's do a bit of trivia, a bit of like going back in history, because since 1933, and I doubt that anyone knows this, and I'm going off profootballreference.com, so hopefully that's right. In 1933, what was the Pittsburgh Steelers' first name? You guys know this?
Pirates?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Pirates.
Pirates, correct. Yeah, 100%. So we know that, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys know their overall record? Now they played 11 games.
In the first year?
In the first ever season, 1933.
I think they only won 3 games.
Ooh, how do you know that? Hang on a minute. Yeah, you're correct. They did. Only won 3 games.
Because I'm a Steeler fan.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie. I looked like 2 hours before. I'm not going to lie. But I think it was like 3-6-2 or something.
Yeah, you definitely looked before.
Yeah, I definitely, yeah. I mean, thank you, everybody.
You
Good
definitely
night.
looked before.
Yeah. No, I did look. I just have a good memory.
All right, so yeah, 1933 was 3-6-2. So they had 2 ties. Does anyone know who their coach was? And I've never heard this bloke in my life.
Oh no, I don't know.
Was it Walt Killingsley?
I think he's related to Dowds of Plumville. That's what I heard, but I don't know. I don't know if that's true.
Was it Walt Killingsley?
Hey, wait, Shane, what did you say? What did you say?
His name was Dowds, but I don't know the first name.
How do you know that? You guys do know your stuff.
Well, because there's a store 20 minutes down the road called Dowds of Plumville.
Okay, wait, that's true. Apparently this guy, the very first coach in Steelers or Pirates history was Forrest Dowds. So he must be related to what you just said.
Yeah.
That's probably Heather Bryce's great grandfather.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he was a tackle and guard back in.
Hold on.
Something. Doesn't even say.
He was a player coach then. Player coach.
In 1930, he was a tackle and guard. He played for. How do you play for Pittsburgh and you can't do that? There's no way. It says he played for Pittsburgh and he also was the coach.
Yeah, player coach back in the early days.
Can you do that? No. Can you do that?
In the early days, you could have.
He must have been the right tackle and also the coach as well. Yeah,
they went through a lot of coaches though before they got Chuck Noll.
1933, he was a right tackle for 7 games. Apparently, to Pro Football Reference. So it could be right, could be wrong. And he played left guard in 1934, and he also coached the team. Could you imagine being a coach and as a player at the same time? Oh, Shane, you're
What?
muted.
He's doing
Oh,
something.
he's on a call. Oh, okay.
Call what? What the hell's he calling? Is he calling Dowds of Plumville?
I don't know.
God only knows what he's doing. But I mean, back in those early days, they used to, plus they also played both sides, I think, of the ball because
Yeah.
they didn't have a lot of players on that team. Because I looked at that picture, the 1933 picture, and they had the, you can't see it, it was black and white, but they had like the stripes jerseys, And who was that?
Also, they
Did
played.
you know
What's that?
Oh no, go ahead because I'm thinking something.
Oh, they played at Forbes Field as well.
That was the Pirates stadium.
Oh, okay.
Like up, I think, and I've never seen that because that's way before my time.
Oh,
But I
so
think
it
it's
was
up in
1909 to 1970 was from Oakland neighborhood of Pittsburgh. Had the Pirates and it had the football stadium too.
because
So for many years they played in the football stadium was the baseball stadium too.
Yeah, because Three Rivers is I think 70, I believe. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Because my grandfather had tickets. He was a season ticket holder in 1970.
So baseball was huge with Forbes Field.
Oh, the Pirates! The Pirates won against the Yankees. They beat the in 1960. They were the World Series champs. 1971, they beat Baltimore, and the Pittsburgh Pirates baseball team was actually very, very good until the 90s.
The Steelers have had, I think, 3 stadiums: Forbes Field when they were younger, Three Rivers, and now Heinz Field. Right? Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
3?
Yep.
That's pretty insane to know that.
And I don't think they need another one. I think Heinz Field is good. I don't think they need to do like Cleveland and get a dome. I wouldn't want a dome stadium in Pittsburgh. Would you? I mean,
no.
No.
Outside's way better. No, I don't. I would rather outside.
No, because the outside. I mean, the outside is the feel of watching a football game when it is cold. I mean, I'm a little older now, but these younger kids can go out there and watch a football game and enjoy it, when it's like not 59 degrees cold, but I mean, I'm talking 22 or 18.
All right, for our first game back in the day in 19 must have been 33. Wait. Can you hear me? I can hear my double on me. Hold up. Hopefully it sorts out. Can you hear an echo?
I'm good now.
Okay. In 1933, the first game, do you know what the score was and who they played? I didn't know this stuff.
They played Cincinnati Bengals and they beat them 35-3.
No, they played the New York Giants. They lost 23-2. Do you think back then, Shane? Are you still on the call? Are you here? Are you muted?
No, I'm not on a call. I just muted because there's an echo.
Do you think back then that when the fans got frustrated, they went to social media and started to yell at people?
No, they just kicked the handicapped news boy. Ah,
they went down to the pub and drank their problems away with a quarter pint.
Hey, little Jimmy, stop looking at me with your one good eye. You know they should have freaking won.
They lost to the Giants, and you didn't get a glass. They just gave you the bottle. And you're like, because the Steelers for 42 years, they got their asses kicked. 42 years.
Hey, even back then they were saying it, fuck Bob Nutting, right?
But I think also too, Art Rooney Sr. tried to get the team, and he never could get it the way he wanted it. And then he would always fire a coach, get a coach, fire a coach. It was kind of like, I mean, I hate to say Cleveland, but Cleveland's rotation of coaches. That's what the Steelers had early on. They had a lot of coaches, but they also had a Supreme Court justice in the backfield.
Yeah, right. Fellas, when was the in 1933 and 4 was World War II was still going, right?
No.
What was it over by then?
World War II was in the 1940s. 1939.
So it was in between World Wars. Really.
Yeah, Hitler invaded.
I always
Poland
find
in
that really
39.
intriguing too. Interesting that we're talking about a franchise that started in 1933, and then 10 years later, whatever, was involved in a world war, right? Or, Americans were involved and all this kind of stuff. I've always found that really intriguing.
That's when they tagged up with the Eagles, and then they were the Steagles.
The Eagles.
You guys remember the reason why they did that?
For World War II.
They didn't have enough players, maybe.
They didn't have enough players.
Is that right? There was not enough players for both teams that joined together.
Teams, I think.
Okay. But the Eagles, this is their birthday also.
Really?
1933.
Yeah. Today is their birthday too. Let me look it up.
Well, I don't care about those guys.
Jackson John says, "Here's to Steelers Dynasty podcast getting 1,000."
God bless you, Jackson.
That's who just called me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's from Alabama.
Wow.
Yeah, he does a couple great podcasts, and he helps Mark out with the college football station.
Oh, okay. Well, God bless him. What was I going to say?
He has a show called The Jacksonian. It's kind of cool.
The Steagles, you said the Steagles.
But there's not many Steelers in that time that you can actually name and say, hey, I remember that Steeler. Bullet Bill Dudley is probably and Whizzer White is probably the two of the famous ones until they traded for Bob Lane. And then Lane was always
It was a long time ago. This kind of stuff you have to go back into history. You got to go to the museums. You got to do research.
Yeah, I mean, you got to know your stuff, and that's old. I mean, you're a Steeler connoisseur if you know those players and if you know stats from that time.
Well, here's a stat that just kind of paints a picture of Steelers Nation. You ready? First game was rained out. First game ever was rained out.
Well, they didn't play it.
Didn't play it.
Really?
December 13th.
How much rain would have to be for the
lot of rain
to play?
A lot of rain.
But was it the Giants? Okay, they played the Giants, right?
Well, the one that was rained out, I'll have to look it up. Let me see.
Because the Giants and the Steelers, both family members own both teams. They're all related. The Marthas and the Rooneys are related.
Oh.
Yeah,
they definitely are. Maybe that's why they played first.
That's why that actress.
That girl, right? That she's got both sides, right?
Yeah, she's related. She's a Rooney. She's related to the Rooneys and the Maras.
To be honest,
it's a big time organization.
It's quite a gamble. It's a bit of a gamble to go and buy something that no one knew was going to be this big in 2025, right?
For $2,500, that's a big screen TV now.
Yeah, but back then to set up generational wealth.
I know
this is generational wealth. If you were Rooney's friend, you'd be like, "What? Who are you buying? What? Why?
But
what are you doing that for?"
But also too in Art's in the Chiefs' defense, since they weren't winning and stuff, he still kept it that whole time.
Yeah.
He kept it that whole time. He probably got offered money to sell it. And they're like, come on, Chief, you can sell. They're not that good.
Yeah,
and he's like, no. I want to keep this. This is my baby. I'm going to, hand it down to generation after generation. And it was Dan that made the team more successful.
Yeah, 44 years of it just slugging along, kind of like, eh.
We were the Cleveland Browns, I hate to say it. We couldn't win shit back then.
But back then, the Cleveland Browns, the real Cleveland Browns, were the championship team. They won all the championships, right? I found the photo of Eagles and Steelers logo. How there's no imagination at all.
Oh, that's terrible.
Zero imagination. You and I can make that.
That looks like a Zorro, like a big Z.
Yeah, Eagles Steelers. That's the worst, I think, image I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, someone just said then, what about Card Pit as well? We also, back in the day, the Steelers and Cardinals joined up in maybe that was to do with the war or something, 34 as well.
What year was that?
Card Pit was when they both did it together.
Yeah, I think that was 42.
Yeah, 40. The second merger during the 1944 season.
Yeah.
There you go. Card Pit.
Yeah.
That was still during World War II.
That's crazy. Yeah, some of these. Because have you guys ever been to the Heinz History Museum or these kind of things in Steelers? There's a lot of information back then.
No. No, I never have. I mean, I read a lot of when I was growing up. I read a lot of Steeler books, but the Steeler books that I read was how the team got built in '69
Uh-huh.
to the Super Bowl championship decade of the '70s because I was a young kid, and then the early '80s, and then in the '80s it kind of dropped off. I mean, if you're a Steeler fan in the '80s and you persevered through the '80s, you're a Steeler fan because we didn't have much to cheer about in that whole decade.
Oh, there was
at all.
12 years where they're terrible.
Oh
Here's one
my
for you.
God, it was bad.
They're saying that they started with steel workers, so were steel workers playing football too. Rooney took great care of the guys. There you go. I guess it would have been a different time as well. The steel mills still would have been around Pittsburgh, right, and playing football. They would have been smoking on the field, drinking beer on the field, that kind of stuff, and then going home and probably working as well. What
Yeah.
they would have got paid what?
Not much.
$50?
You got to think the psychology behind sports and how important it is. It's that little carrot. For example, think about the gladiators. When things were tough in Rome, what they do? They put on the games, make people forget about how bad things are. Like when we were deployed overseas, I made myself, even though I didn't have any days off, and I was working 14, 15 hours, 16 hours, I would make myself sit at night on a laptop and watch 20 minutes of Miami Vice and fall asleep. But that little carrot every day, whether it's football, and then when football season started,
Miami Vice?
I had a CD with Miami Vice on it. I'd watch like a half episode, basically, a night, just something to watch. Something.
Okay.
It's a repetitive thing. But then when the football season started, that carrot was, oh my gosh, Saturday's almost here and Sunday's almost here. So you got, college games and NFL games. If you're working in a steel mill, coal mine, or on a farm, that little carrot at the end of the week, it might not mean much to anyone else, but it gives you something to look forward to.
Well, and I'm piggyback off what you're saying. Back then, the whole family probably got in front of the black and white TV, but also too at that time, I don't know if the Steelers were sold out, from the 50s to 71 because I don't know how much TV Steeler games that they watched because it took them in the 70s to not be blacked out.
They were blacked out in the 80s because they were so bad, so people would go to the game, but they did broadcast them on the radio. So that's the one thing they've done for years is have it on the radio.
So when was the transition the Steelers became a good franchise was what the Super Bowl the 70s, right?
Well, I think drafting getting Chuck Noll, building that team through the draft, getting Mean Joe Green, and starting with that draft. I mean, every draft class for many, many years. I mean, the 1974 draft class to me is probably the greatest draft class of all time because you had, I believe, 5 people in that class for the Steelers that went to the Hall of Fame. And that's unheard of. And today's Jack Lambert's birthday also today.
You want to know who played with Jack Lambert, who's also in the College Football Hall of Fame? Played in the same backfield with Lambert at Kent State?
I don't know.
Guy by the name of Nick Saban.
I didn't know that.
Yep. From Fairmont.
That's why you're a college guy. But I will say Jack Lambert was a prick because I met Jack and I got his autograph downstairs in a bar and I offered to buy him a drink and he would not drink a beer. He didn't want anything from me. And I thought, I wanted to buy Jack Lambert. By God, a drink. He wouldn't even take a Coke. Like he was a prick because he was signing autographs, and we got the autograph.
Like that though, they don't want someone to feel like that they owe them something.
Well, he was a deputy, and Shane knows he was the deputy game warden here in the county next to where I live and where Shane grew up in Armstrong County. And boy, if you got picked up by Jack Lambert, you were in trouble.
And also to see what Blue Nose said too around this time, right in 1972. Is it Bill Nunn? He was a bloke that set everything up with all the.
He was a scout.
Scouting, right? Yeah.
And his son was a scout for a while too.
Bill Nunn was in the Hall of Fame too, so and he actually was the one who found John Stallworth.
Was he a GM or a scout? A scout.
Scout,
Scout.
head scout.
What year did he start for the Steelers?
Probably in the 60s, maybe. I'm not sure. But he was the one that found John Stallworth and went to those small
67
schools.
is that he started. 67.
Because Stallworth
And-
was 70. Was he 70, 74, I believe?
72. Let me look.
Stallworth was 74. Stallworth, Swan, Lambert, Webster, Donnie
So
Shell.
pretty much from 1933 all the way up to 1970, the Steelers were just a football team. They stunk. They did.
Right.
People went down there. They went to the game and said, "Oh, we'll try and win." Whatever. Nothing happened.
Well,
No
I think they had a
divisions, nothing.
podcast in the 50s. I don't know how that went, but I mean,
Podcast.
they had podcasts in the 50s. A couple Steeler guys in the 50s. I don't know. They were
Hey.
cranking it up, and they're like, "Oh, the Steelers."
If
lost
they
again."
knew 2 Americans and 1 Australian, I'd eat my beanie right now. There's no way that fucking happened.
No.
But yeah, I guess it would have been. I can see that. I don't like. Sometimes I don't like people buying for me if they're doing it with like bad intent. But some people don't like people buying stuff for them because.
But my dad always told me if someone always bought you a beer, you always buy them back. I mean, that's how I was raised. If someone bought me a beer, I always buy somebody. I always buy back.
Beer.
Only if I throw up on their shoes.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm just
So-
joking. Back.
Yeah, we had the football team or the Pittsburgh Steelers were just a team. 1970s created something huge, right?
Right.
So in the 70s, were you guys like, how young were you guys watching that on TV? How was the feeling around the 70s? Were you guys alive? What's up?
I honestly never saw a Steeler game. I had to listen to the Super Bowl against the Rams on the radio in 3rd grade. My
Really?
dad was not a Steeler fan. If John Wayne and Clint Eastwood movies were on, that's how it was at my house. It was not football. My grandfather.
So
grew
it
up
wasn't
on
like
football.
this where it's like,
Uh-uh.
if you're into football, it's just football central. It was in the background, right? Oh, who won the Super Bowl last night? Oh, Steelers did. Okay, cool.
No,
It
for me,
wasn't
it was
super-
different, and it because when I was a little kid, McDonald's had Super Bowl programs, and I got the Steeler cups as I'm looking, and I don't know if Shane got them, like Steeler cups with the Steeler players from the 70s.
Yeah.
So I collected that, and this is crazy, and I know I don't. I mean, when I was a little kid, I used to take. This is corny. This is so corny. I used to do cracked walnut shells, and I would paint them Steeler colors, black and helmets. I mean, I had good toys, but I would crack a walnut and then I would paint black and gold. But like I said, my grandfather is the one that instilled with me because he was a season ticket holder. Because the whole row at Three River Stadium, that whole row was from Indiana County. So if they wanted to trade tickets, they could, or get extra tickets, or say, "Hey, I'll give you this ticket for this game." I mean, that's how it was until Heinz Field was built, and then they split all them up. And there was like 3 of us from Indiana County, and I only had 1 ticket, and that was for 17 years. So, I mean, I had my share. I mean, I could have bought a house like 25 years ago, probably. I had some great times though. But I also saw, and I keep saying on all these 2 AFC losses to the Patriots, which to me still makes me sick. Like,
Righto. I want to go through a few more things with this because I think this stuff is really cool about the Steelers.
this is history. We're going back.
And
We're
going
taking like
back.
back to the future.
yeah, 1933. I want to go over a few things and then get your guys' take on this too. So with the Steelers' overall record, right? How many wins do you think, Shane, that the Steelers have won? Like, just give me an approximate number.
33, like 3 or 4. Not many.
No. Wins in total, like in the whole, like wins.
The whole time they've been playing.
In the last 92 years, yeah.
Uh,
guess.
I'd say 144 wins, maybe.
What the whole? No, in 92 years.
No,
I don't know.
no,
But-
no. What did you say, Shane?
Well,
100.
100. Well, so
That was Chuck Noll. Chuck Noll won 100.
yeah, no,
some
like
games.
from 1933 to 2025, how many wins? They play 17
I
games
bet
a
you
season.
565
my,
games.
I have no idea.
So they won. They've won apparently according to Pro Football Reference, and that's hopefully a reliable source. They've won 681 wins,
Ah,
585 losses, and
Wow.
22 ties.
And that last tie was against Cleveland.
Last tie was in 2021.
Right?
What's that?
Oh, against the
70 wins a
Lions.
decade.
Oh my
is
God.
what that would be.
I still didn't hear that. I missed all that.
70 wins every 10 years.
Yeah. So we're a winning franchise from that point. And look, I know that the idea is to win a Super Bowl, but at the same time, it's always good fun to win and go to the winners' pub and have a good time, be a successful
Here's
franchise.
a question: how many wins, Mark, did they have before their 70s decade of excellence? Where is there
3?
I can't calculate really fast. It's
I know.
too hard to calculate, but maybe
I bet you it was probably probably 100.
Yeah, well, they played
it wasn't
games
many.
too. They played 12 games back in the day.
Maybe 120.
Yeah, I can't. I have to
because I don't think during that time until the 70s they didn't have double digits. They might have had 9 wins or something. They never had like 10, 11, or 12.
The worst season they ever had, it was in 1939, was 1-9-1. The second worst season was 1941, 1-9-1. 1969 was 1-13-0. They've never had 0 wins. There you go. They've never had 0 wins, so they've always won 1 game, which is something that the Browns can't say or other teams can't say. They've had a lot of 10-win games as well.
That 70s decade, like that's probably 150.
What's the best record you guys know? The best record that Steelers ever had in because they're playing more games now.
Regular season?
Yeah,
regular season?
Yeah.
15-1 with Big Ben his rookie year.
Yeah, 2004.
Yeah, I was there because I gained 60 pounds.
That was the best record they've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they've had 36 playoff wins, 29 losses, 6 championships. All-time leader is the passing leader is Big Ben. Franco is a rushing leader, 11,000 yards, almost 12,000. Hines Ward, 1,000. Gary Anderson, 134, but Chris Boswell was right behind him.
Right.
And Chuck Noll's 193, and I think Mike Tomlin's 187, 185.
Yeah, he'll probably win. He'll probably get it this year. Because if we're going to the Super Bowl, Tomlin will break that record. Because I'm all in. So he's going to break
183. So
okay, what's Chuck Noll?
193. Got to win 10 games.
11
and
games.
Know what? I know straight away when he wins 10 games, 11 games, no one's going to celebrate it. They're going to fucking critique the man. But if he passes Chuck Noll for most wins, like it's celebration. It's a good thing. However, the salty Yinzers are going to say, "Oh, he hasn't won a playoff game in years."
The thing is, though, for us, okay, being Steeler fans, it's very hard to be competitive every year. So and I'm giving Tomlin his just due. So to be competitive for his whole career, it takes something to be competitive. Like the Steeler fans who don't like him, like there's NFL teams that aren't competitive every year. The Steelers are competitive every year, even though we're not where we want to be. We're always going to be in the hunt.
But you can still celebrate it when he does it. If he wins 11 games this year, he'll be the all-time record regular season winning coach and most wins. Right, Mike Tomlin will have that.
Yeah,
most wins.
I mean, I'm okay.
Then,
I like Chuck Noll and Cowher, but you're a bigger Tomlin fan than I am.
Everyone's got to always compare the fuckers. They always compare and I'm not even say fuckers in a bad way, but they got to compare each other. Like this is it's like this. Celebrate the guy that he's won it, and he could do it. Coach Tomlin could be the all-time regular season record for.
And if he wins the Super Bowl, he can shut everybody up.
Oh, I'll be going. I'll stream for 48 hours then. I won't.
Oh no, man! I don't. Holy shit! I'll have to drink.
I won't stop. I'll just keep.
No, but I mean, for you, like I said, you're the most positive Steeler fan I know, and you do like Tomlin.
It's not that bad.
But I mean, and this is coming from me, because I'm a diehard Steeler fan. But the thing is, though, to be competitive every year is very hard, and the Steelers are very competitive every year, no matter what. No matter if Tomlin had Kenny Pickett, he's still a winning record. Okay, he had Dodge Hodges, and Ben tore out his competitive. Had that offense with the Killer Bees, competitive. Now, there's been some mishaps where, to me, we should have won more Super Bowls or got to more AFC Championship games, but also too, you can't win them all the time. And being a Steeler fan, you're not going to win a Super Bowl every year. But in the positive way, and I'm going on a tirade here, the Steelers are very competitive during Tomlin's whole. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who he had. Doesn't matter what he had. He's still been competitive. So people can bitch all they want, but the Steelers are still competitive, whether it's a winning record or in the playoffs. No other team has done it at all. Even the Patriots with the Emperor, he's no longer there. So the Steelers are just keeping extending that. And maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am.
Here's a comparison I've got to, this. Look, this club is very successful. I'm very thankful to be a Steelers fan. It's a lot of fun, right? The Arizona Cardinals have been around since 1920 to 2025, 106 seasons. They've won 593 and they've lost 812, 41 ties, playoff record 7-10, and they've won 0 Super Bowls and 2 championships back in like 19 whenever, right? 1922. So that's the difference. We've had a club that got changed by Chuck Noll, Bill Nunn, and turned around the culture, and it changed Pittsburgh and it changed a lot of things with our Steelers. And I think that was very helpful to get 4. They went and got Bill Cowher. They won 1, got Mike Tomlin. They've been very successful, and the Rooneys have been very successful. There are other teams out there that fucking go 4-15 every year, 4-13. So, yeah, I don't know.
I'll ask Mark.
And we also had to go against Tom Brady, and if we didn't have to deal with Brady, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I hate to say it, but we had to get through Brady, and we just couldn't sometimes, and we would have been more successful. Brady stopped us numerous times. I mean, the year that we went and won, wow, hey, Z!
Thank you, Z. You absolute
Z.
legend. Thank you very much.
That's a fireworks right there.
That is definitely a fireworks. That is crazy. Thank you, Z. You're insane. 1 second. Also, Z, if you're not a member, make sure if you are a member, go to the Discord too. Z's been around a bit, but $99.99 goes towards my Iron Fund.
It's a lot of pizza.
That is a lot of pizza.
I'm going to ask Z this question. Let him answer it, and I want Mark and I want Bubba to answer it. Would you freaking game we do? Would you be able to handle the Steelers going 8-9 years, like losing record, like 3 wins, 4 or 5 wins, maybe, to have them go to the Super Bowl, not win it, but just go to a Super Bowl on that 9th or 10th year? Would you trade that?
You're saying trade away 8 shit years of like down the dumps, like our team is terrible. The next, the one they win it. What's the alternative?
Have downturns. Some teams will have a downturn and then trend up and do well.
Is there any alternative? That's the question.
But that's still like okay, you can pick your poison. You lose to Cleveland 4 years straight, both games, but you go to the Super Bowl the 5th year. That's the kind of scenario. I mean, you got.
But what's the final outcome on that question, though?
What an alternative was only one way, because if you're only giving one option, I'd say yes. But if the alternative is,
but you have a 50-50 shot of winning the Super Bowl. This just leads up to the Super Bowl. The red pill, blue pill. Red pill, you lose these games, but you get to go to the Super Bowl. And the blue pill is you stay competitive and consistent with 9-10 wins every year, but you're one and done in the playoffs.
I don't want to answer that.
I'll say something, Shane, because realistically, I look. The Steelers are the first pioneers of the Super Bowl era to win 4 straight, never losing anything. Believe me, when they lose a Super Bowl, I feel it deep down in my soul. So I feel I don't want to see 3 years of losing. I had to go through the 80s with fucking Ouija Thompson and Dwight Stone. I'm glad that they actually strengthen up every year and try to go for a run. That's what I like. I mean, do we get it every year? No, But
what
if
he's
they're in the
saying
Super
is,
Bowl, I'm going for a win. I ain't taking a damn loss. No more.
So Shane's saying you want us to lose 6-7 years in a row, and then we're guaranteed to win a Super Bowl. Otherwise, the other one is.
But be in a Super Bowl. You have a 50. You're just
No. I'm not. They have to be competitive every year, and eventually they win a Super Bowl.
That's not going to. The scenario is not like that. You're either going to be consistent but never make it past the first round.
No.
Or you're going to be shitty for like 8 years.
It's kind of like now, right? Kind of like now.
And the only difference is you're going to punch that ticket that 8th year, and you have a chance to win. I would take,
but you're not giving us. You're not giving us after the 8th year. You're not giving us a trophy. You're like, oh, you're in, but you're not winning.
He's saying it's a gamble to be 50-50.
It'd be 50.
If I'm gambling, I want the trophy.
But you're definitely not going to win you're losing these first round games because
it's a fucking heartache for me. I can't take another Super Bowl loss during my lifetime. I don't want it. I can't. As crazy as it sounds, I want to win.
All right, fellas, let me run some fireworks for Z and thank you, mate. I'm so appreciative of the $99 that's going towards my Dublin fund. You don't have to do that, and I thank you, Z, very much. You get some fireworks. Also, thank you to Claude too. If I can find the fucking fireworks, and StreamYard's changed. So thank you, mate, for the 99, and also thank you, Claude, as well. Welcome to the show. I can't find the fire. Here, wait a minute. Where are they? Yeah, here's the fireworks for you two blokes. Much appreciated. Here we go. I got to tell you, fellas, this stuff's unreal, man. The support you get in these podcasts.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's unreal.
You got. I'm telling you, you got people. Whenever we get 500, Shane, and we got people, we're gonna have Steely McBeam thanking everybody. We're gonna have he's gonna be like, "Hey guys, thanks for doing it." Yep, that's what we're gonna do. Steely McBeam, we'll make a video, and he'll be thanking people.
You come here often.
Yeah, Shane, I have to take a Super Bowl victory. Super Bowl or bust. I can't take a loss. I can't. I cannot
get to the Super Bowl and lose.
No, if you're going to the Super Bowl, you're winning. I can't. What do you laugh? I can't take it.
But I get what he's saying, though. He's saying it's seven years of failure. The 8th year, we're a chance. We're in the bowl.
Right.
Right.
If you're going to be 7 years
Shane
of failure,
really
7 years of failure, I want that 8th year Super Bowl championship. I don't want to go to the game.
But he can't give you that. He can't give you that. He's going to give you an option to you can get there.
The option is winning. I can't deal with that. I'll lose my shit.
Or we keep doing what we're doing now, which is win 10 games, 11, and then we go to the wild card and we lose.
Yeah.
Some part of me says it would be crappy to be a seven years losing, but if we had a chance to be in the bowl, how fucking exciting that would be.
It's like going to the strip club and spending $10 every time you go.
$10.
10.
But you could save up, and you could get yourself a.
I gotta have a win. Shane, I gotta have them win. 7 years of not doing anything, and then the 8th year you go in, you happen to win a playoff game. AFC
but that's the question, Bubba. That's Shane.
I know. I can't take that. I have to. I can't. I'll fucking lose my shit. Like I mean, I remember Mendenhall fumbling that ball. I had to work. I almost lost my job. And then Neil O'Donnell throwing them picks. Like, we were coming back, onside kick, Dion Figures recovers. The Steelers looked like they were going to actually beat the Dallas Cowboys, America's team. What ain't America's team? The Steelers are America's team. But I just hate losing. Like, I never thought in my life ever, since the Steelers won in the 70s, almost 4 out of 6 years, that the Steelers would ever lose a Super Bowl when they got in. That wasn't when the Steelers are in the Super Bowl, they're winning.
The two Super Bowl losses, which one would you rather have? The Cowboys or the
I don't want anyone, but
you're gonna break him. He's gonna fucking explode.
Well, the thing is, Shane, when we played the Dallas Cowboys, the Steelers were down by 10. You cannot go down by 10 to the Super Bowl champions prior to that year. The Dallas Cowboys were the Super Bowl champs from the year prior. They were good. You can't go down 10 points.
So Bubba, would you rather the Steelers get to the wild card, they win the division, and they lose the AFC Championship rather than go to the Super Bowl and lose? Is it too hard to
That's
lose
hard
that Super Bowl?
too. Fuck.
And these that's shooting your load in 30
I look, but also too, if Cordell Stewart threw in triple coverage against Denver, that was a strong team, and then we lost to Denver. Like, that sucked. Like, I hate losing to the Chargers by some fucking tight end that nobody ever heard of before, and it was 4th and 2, and I'm praying to God because I'm going to the Super Bowl, and Neil incomplete to Barry Foster. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't have never happened. Like, the Pittsburgh Steelers was favored, I think, by 13 or 14, 17 points. A total disaster. I don't want to lose in the AFC Championship. I don't want to lose when we get to those stages. That's like taking a girl on a dance and you're finally dancing with a smoking hot girl. Are you going to give that up? No. You want to dance with a smoking hot girl all night. I want the Steelers in the Super Bowl.
Then you go to the bar and someone else comes over and takes
somebody
the
else.
girl. You're like,
takes her away.
I will diddle 5 twos to get to the 10.
I got a fucking headache. No, I want a Super Bowl victory because the next day, being a Super Bowl champion, like, I'm going out and getting newspapers. I'm going out and getting everything I see. Like, I'm collecting everything I see. Like, when they beat the Seattle Seahawks, I was just popping champagne like it was like.
I was going to ask you that. What did you do after after Super Bowl 40? What did you do? Like, would you go and?
I was working at the bar, the K Arena. We had a big giant Steeler thing, and it was nice. It was awesome, and I had cases and cases of champagne that was bought for New Year's Eve. And I tell you what, I gave cases and cases of champagne out to everybody when the Steelers won. We were popping champagne. I was pouring it all over myself. Like, I mean, I was in 3rd grade when we beat the Rams.
It's like Flashdance.
Yeah. I passed out in boomerangs. I was hammered. But the next day, I went and got newspapers. Steelers made the front page. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, Bubba, when you celebrate the win in 40, because I was only younger, right? I was like, I think I was like 17, 16 or whatever I was.
I got so excited.
It didn't mean that much. It would mean more now when I see it now.
It meant more to me because I actually seen it because I wasn't a little kid listening to it on the radio. Like, I actually seen it. I was following Pittsburgh Steelers football. I mean, me and my buddies would go, and if we weren't at the Rose Inn at 11 o'clock on Sundays and watching football, like, we watched football all day long. You know what I mean? And that was one of the best times that we used to do. I still like watching the Steelers football. I love watching Steelers football where I took off every fucking day of work this year so I could watch the Steelers. So I hate working, and I don't care if my job's ever listening to me. I'm taking off or I'm calling off sick. I am never watching because I had to watch a Kansas City game. And I tell you what, I almost lost my job because Patrick Mahomes threw that touchdown. I almost lost my shit. And I don't get that excited anymore. And I'm sorry, community, that I do get excited. But if you knew me and you could see me, this is how, like, my wife.
This is what we're doing today's episode because you wear your heart on your sleeve. We're celebrating the Pittsburgh
I don't even
Steelers.
want to do Christmas with family shit if the Steelers are playing. It's Pittsburgh Steelers football, and I've gotten in trouble for that. Like, don't have a family function. I'm watching the Steelers. I've gotten in trouble numerous times. And my wife is like, why do you do that? You can't be doing that. I go, Tammy, look, they scheduled it way plenty of times. It's the Steelers football. Look, family can come second to this when the Steelers are playing. I mean, and my mother even says, she'll call me up and she's like, Jay, I'm so sorry that the Steelers lost. And my dad's like, oh, your team lost again. Like, I own the goddamn Steelers. Like, I don't, Dad. My dad's not a football fan. He just doesn't.
Well, you are going to buy a Rodgers jersey. And you turn
I am going to buy a Rodgers jersey. It'll be a 4X. I'll have it before training camp. I'll go down and wear it. And I'm gonna try to get Aaron Rodgers, a video of Aaron Rodgers. I'll say something stupid. I'll ask him if he wants to go to Tibet, for 6 days or 7. I'll do something.
Tibet. Just to
I'll
chill
go to
out.
Tibet.
Where's that lake where you float in the Dead Sea? Where's that?
Isn't that the Caspian Sea, Shane?
What's that?
You float in the Dead Sea. It's like so much salt.
Yeah, you float. But what I was going to tell Bubba is, so basically, if a priest called you, you chew his ass because baby Jesus was born the day the Steelers are playing, and it's his fault, right? Don't schedule a
Steeler game during Christmas, because everything that's Christmas is all Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not opening gifts. I don't care about mistletoe. I don't care about Christmas cookies. I don't care about anything. I want to watch the Steelers football game. One time I watched a playoff game of my in-laws, and that's when Ben played Jacksonville and threw 3 interceptions. I said, I'm never coming back here to watch a game ever. And I never watched a Steeler game at my in-laws. I know they sold the house,
Bubba,
but I never.
What's the best game you've been to? You've been to a few games, right? What's the best overall game you've ever been to? Can you remember when you felt like it felt like Christmas? Where it felt like it was so fucking awesome to be there.
I was there at the New York Jets double overtime in the playoff game. We beat the Jets in overtime in a playoff game, and Ben's rookie year, and then then they lost to the Patriots the week
2004 after. Steelers versus Jets.
Yeah, they played the Jets.
That was versus Bart Scott, right?
Huh?
That was versus Bart Scott when he said, can't wait. I think he said that before, can't wait. So we won 2017. And 2017. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was overtime. And,
that was in Pittsburgh? You were there?
That was in Pittsburgh, yeah.
Do you remember how cold it was back then?
No, but the week after, it was -7, because I remember I was froze because I walked out. When we lost to the New England Patriots, I walked out with Myron Cope. That was the last time Myron Cope actually called a game. I was one of the last people in the stadium because I was so upset that we lost. I told him, I just want to stay here until next year. Just let me roll up. I'll eat some hot dogs.
All right,
and it was his birthday.
Let's go down, and we'll come back to that as well with Myron Cope as well. But let's go down this game, right? So this game was Steelers versus Jets in 2005, January 15th. It was 2004 season with rookie Big Ben. It was the 64,000 fans there. It was, where was it here? They had 43 times they ran the ball. So that was running the football back in the day. 193 yards. Big Ben got sacked once. Total yards, 364. Big Ben threw for, how many? He threw for 181, and he was sacked once and had 1 TD and 2 interceptions. So it must have been more of a running game, Bubba, when you saw it back then.
Yeah, I wouldn't remember those stats, and thank you for I you know what I mean? Like, I was drinking and doing whatever, but because that game was, but also too, I've been to games, Mark, where I've been to the game where Tommy Maddox and the Steelers offense had 350 yards and lost to the Texans, and they only had 50 yards because Tommy threw like 2 or 3 interceptions for touchdowns. I was at that game. It was a hard pill to swallow, but nothing is worse than 2 AFC losses, championship game losses to the Patriots. I mean, the first one, Cordell Stewart, people were throwing their terrible towels in the garbage, and there was a silence like I've never heard before.
What?
Yes, it's true. I just put my head down and I was bummed out, as of course anybody would be, being a Steeler fan. And then the second one, Ben threw that interception, I think, to Rodney Harrison, and if Plaxico, way to go, Joey!
I'll see him there.
Joey,
that's my boss's kid. He's a.
Has he got a spare one? You got a spare ticket for me?
Spare ticket for the Aussie.
I love Joey and Blossom. You're my favorite.
I think he got him pretty good. I think he got 3 tickets for something. His future his future. I don't know what you call him, but
MWR.
Fabe said he got good tickets. So
MWR get those for you, Joey? Military? Is that who you got it through? Look what Mitch delivered to me.
what is that? A wrap?
It's a taco he made.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's out there grilling. That's how I had to
that's
go.
awesome that Joe. Yeah, he's gonna have a good time. Don't drink all the beer, Joey, over there. Your mom won't like that.
So back to the comments here. I've got a few good ones. It's from Blue Nose. Says I hosted Christmas dinner, year of the Immaculate Extension. I was at that game, by the way. Fuck, that's my favorite game.
I was
When they
by
won the division.
myself. I was by myself
Yeah.
because I missed a family thing because
Wait,
Tammy.
wait, wait.
I watched it.
What's the Immaculate Extension? What's that?
AB.
Yes,
Oh, AB going out. Yeah, I remember that. Okay.
Boy, it was crazy.
that was awesome. That was, and it
Yeah,
was
I was
the
at
Ravens too.
that was my first Pittsburgh Steelers game. Was that game, and I stayed
How
back.
excited
like
was you? How excited was you when that
fuck it,
happened?
I could get some videos. I'm fucking that excited. Hang on a minute. I was ecstatic. I stayed back half an hour just to stay in the stadium. I was like, I'm not coming back here for a while. Came back 2 years later, but you know what I mean. And then I came back another year later, and a year later after that. Then we went to the club, and then Yuli didn't get in. So you know, Yuli. I don't know where Yuli's at, but he wasn't. He had one drink and still wasn't allowed in.
And Gene got in everywhere, so it doesn't. I don't know how that worked.
No, it was insane. It was Steelers versus Ravens, and we won in the last minute. And it was we won the championship, AFC North Championship. It was fucking so much fun. I'll bring up a video. I got some videos from there. It was like, so Bubba, where did you say you were? Where were you that day on Christmas?
I was in a house. We lived out in it was Dayton. We rented a place before we bought this house, and Tammy was doing a family function, and it was Christmas time. I was watching a Steeler game by myself. Yeah, him and his brother are in the military. God bless him.
And I'll bring this up. Oh, it's fucking loud though, but I'll bring it up. It's the last play of the game we won when I think they got in Shazier, or one of the middle linebackers, intercepted the ball. Let me bring it up. It could be loud though. Where is it? Window. Got a few videos here and there. Can you guys see? Hang on a minute.
I got all the time in the world.
It's going to be loud, I think.
Oh, that's pretty.
Just 10 years ago. My very first game in the NFL, and in my very first time, second time in Pittsburgh in the stadium, but first game ever. Where the French toast is. Hang on. It's loud, isn't it?
No, I can't hear it.
Can't hear it.
Oh, it's on an angle. My bad. Turn your head, Bubba.
Hold on. Oh, there you are. Who's the girl?
I don't know, but I wish I knew. Who's that girl? Bit loud.
No, I can't hear it actually.
So,
but I mean, just the feel of it. I've been down there when it's stuff like that. I mean,
so back then I didn't know how to use the camera, how to turn it.
That's okay. I still don't.
And that. But yeah, that was
super
fun. That was.
You're a podcaster, so now you're an expert.
Expert, yes.
And that was your first time, and they won. They took the division, and that was the reach.
Division.
Boom.
Yep. Very first time. And that was the last play. So I wasn't even filming. I wasn't filming for podcast back then. I was just filming to film, right?
You'll never forget it.
Oh, it was unreal. I stayed back half an hour just to enjoy everything, and we won the division. And then eventually that was the season where we should have beat the Patriots in the divisional game and then go to Houston, but we lost that one, right? That was that season. That was the last time we won playoff games was that season in 2016, almost 10 years ago. Fucking crazy, really.
Seems like a long time ago.
Yeah, it was
so long.
When I was living in Canada. And then I went to Pittsburgh, and I told them that I was going to quit if I didn't go. And they gave me 10 days off Christmas, and next minute I was in.
I'm going to do that next time at my job. I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit if I don't. I'm telling you, I took off every Steeler game. I don't care. People were pissed at work. I don't even care.
Matty Cakes was there too. I know a few people at the same game I was at.
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's pretty
Randy.
fun.
What
What about you, Shona? What's your favorite like Steelers memory or moment or whatever you've had? Is it being friends with Bubba?
Yeah. Well, you're thinking back. I remember being at a college party when the Steelers were playing the Cowboys in the Super Bowl, and I left at halftime and hooked up with
You have
them.
those sunnies on and like with the summer party. You have your guns out too.
But no, seriously, the last 2 times the Steelers were in the Super Bowl, I was deployed, so I didn't get to watch but one game. I came home the day before the Super Bowl in 06. So I got to watch that Super Bowl. But was Jerome Bettis playing the Bears? I was sitting in a dining facility.
I was there.
And I could see on the TV the snow and just the cold. And I was just like, my God, that's amazing. And yeah, I got to watch probably the last half of that game, and I just got goosebumps. I'm like, this is just I'm seeing history,
That's when he ran over Brian Urlacher.
He smacked Urlacher.
The famous picture, Jerome Bettis picture.
So that pops in my mind. So every time I see that piece of art that's out there, that is a painting,
I have that picture downstairs in my bar. I saw that live, and I tell you what. Watching Bettis live was something else.
So I was sitting in a dining facility with like 50 or 60 grand in Salacia payments that I was just supposed to be giving out next couple days. And I just sat there with my backpack and watched this game, just mesmerized. And then the next time, what was it, 09? Yeah, we watched it as a group of people, and we were really excited, jumping around. I did get to that time. I did get to watch a lot of the games because it was different.
And you know what I was thinking about another time, was when the Steelers were getting beat by Cleveland in the playoffs, and Tommy Maddox in that great comeback victory. We were down at the Rose Inn, and there was cases and cases of Iron City flowing like water. I'm telling you, and Jesus was on our side that day, and Chris Mathu Malafala with that touchdown, that the bar went fucking crazy. So that game there was huge. And there's been a couple losses where we lost to the Titans in the playoff game when that field goal kicker played like he got roughing a kicker. That wasn't good. I mean, we've had a couple setbacks, but more good than bad. But that playoff game with Tommy Maddox and stuff like that, and we were down, and we need to we need to go play Cleveland in the playoff game and just destroy them, because the last time we played them, we did not
to reset it, right? Yeah.
Yes.
You think we're going to get back to those winning those days of 2005 and 2008? Are they around the corner, or are they far away?
You want me to answer that?
Shane, you go first.
Either way.
You guys are going to hate me. I think it's like 3 or 4 years away.
Until we can be dominant.
3 or 4 years.
Let me. Okay, hold up. Why? How? What? Why is it going to take 3 to 4 years?
If this year the Steelers don't miraculously just run the table and just have that 04-05 magical season like they did, where they kind of like turned it around and just start winning. You have a 41-year-old quarterback that has had one ACL redone, and he can't move as well as he used to. The O-line looks like it might gel and it might be good, but these aren't the guys when we had Faneca and those dudes, okay? And the defense looks fantastic, but the past teams that have won the Super Bowl in the past 4 or 5 years have had a top 10 offense. If the Steelers get a top 10 offense this year, they might do it. But the other thing is, Aaron's only here for 1 year. And if that doesn't happen, it's going to have to be a hard reset. They have a lot of money in DK Metcalf. It just doesn't. they're putting all the cards on the table with this, and if it doesn't pay off, then we're gonna have to get a third and a fourth job to pay that debt. You know what I mean? It's just 3 to 4 years. If Khan does what Khan does, and I think he's going to build a great team, I think in 3 to 4 years you're going to have a 5-6 year stretch there where you're going to be competitive and be competing for an AFC championship.
What about you, Bubba? You think it's closer there, or is it really far away?
I'm soaking what Shane. I'm soaking it all in. But as I said before, though, they've always been here. All they got to do is get right here. When they get right here, anything can happen. A ball can bounce. Jalen Ramsey can score an interception on a touchdown. 24-17. Pittsburgh's going to the AFC Championship game. Like those are the sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Yes, Shane, I agree with you with Aaron Rodgers. He, his Achilles, but also too, he already knows that.
Right.
And he knows that he has to redemption stories are always good. Okay. He's going to have a quick release. This offense is going to be very, very quick. I'm only worried about the tackles making sure that they could block for him. But like I said weeks ago in our show, like I'm not getting an Aaron I'm telling you, I'm all in. Like there's no cash on the table. I'm fed up with all this stuff. The Steelers defense has been the highest paid defense in the last 5 years. We have to Tomlin has to get these guys ready. Tomlin will get these guys competitive. We go down to Baltimore and we just slap the goddamn taste out of their mouth. And then we're getting respect from the national media because all season, off season, that the Steelers have been more in the national media than ever before because of Rodgers and all these trades. Now it's putting the stuff on the field and going for a championship. I believe that the Steelers, once they get in, this will be the year that we get all we got to do is get a playoff game and then go from there. I know I'm going all out, but it'll be different once we score. And I think that offense is younger. It's very young, except for Rodgers, but also too, you got a veteran leadership guy that can guide everybody. And you still got Mason Rudolph. You probably got the best backup in the NFL.
Smith as a tight end is fantastic. That's a fantastic ad.
That's going to add a lot more because he loves the tight ends. So that Smith guy, him and Freiermuth get 12 touchdowns between both of them or 14. We're going places, and that's not even including Metcalf. Sorry, I'm getting off script. I'm all in.
I hope that's of course we do well this year. I'm really excited this season, but I do think to get the same feeling as 05, 08, it's probably going to come down to a quarterback really, moving our team, right? So that with this year with Rodgers going to be a feel-good story, 100% it can be. Will that set up for Will Howard or someone here in 2026? We'll see. But I think what the Steelers are missing is what you said, Bubba. You're both right. It's that, Ramsey picks one off and we win 31-18. There was no heart-wrenching win near the end. But Shane's right too. It's building through the draft. It's getting back to in winning football because we're a good side, not a great side, and it's tough seeing a team that is paying all their money to defense. But on the flip side though, we're all mother effing Steeler fans, and we want our team to win.
TJ Watt does not play. We're 1-10. Yep. Sign Watt. Anything can happen. TJ Watt is a strip sack from making things happen. If he's on the field, you never know what could happen. And this defense and Cam Hayward, Cam this is it. So when this is it, you're going to give everything you have to get where you want to be. And they sign him. He's got to make over $40 million a year because it's a non-quarterback thing. He's got to be more than Jamar Chase now, I guess. I don't know.
Just keep saying
just sign
next year, right? With all you always hear afterwards and TJ Watt and Cam and Minka, those guys, and when Minka was here, we'll get him next year. That is getting a bit stale to a certain point, right? It's like they just got to show up and they got to win, and they haven't been doing that. That is true. Can someone date Beyonce so we get more screen time? And then
what's that? What's that mean?
Like Beyonce the singer.
To
Isn't she
Like
married?
Like Taylor Swift? I don't know. All right, fellas, we're going to get out of here. That was a great show. Hour and 20 minutes talking Steelers football. Who would have thunk it that we had to celebrate the team? Nothing to talk about. We talk about a shit ton. A lot. That was really good. So thank you, Shane. Thank you, Bubba. Check these guys out tomorrow on Steelers Dynasty podcast.
Yeah, I don't know what we'll talk about tomorrow. I have no idea. We're going to talk about me talking about
you
how
always say that, and you always find something.
Well, I'm like Shane got me all revved up. Like, well, Bubba, do you want 7 years, or do you want to go to Super Bowl and lose? Like, no.
I know.
Well, yeah, that's for tomorrow, guys. More of me getting Bubba all spun up on the what if game.
I'm fucking fired up. Like, I'm gonna go get my helmet downstairs. I'm gonna put the goddamn thing on.
I do like that. Because Shane does test us in certain questions of like, well, maybe if this happened or that happened, what would you do? And you're like,
it's like operation. He knows. Boop.
Knows how to push our buttons. One last thing before we go. I saw this on the Steelers Twitter. I don't know what it means. The Pittsburgh Steelers put an image up saying forged in Pittsburgh. That's July 21st. Does that mean? Does anyone know what that means? Is that like the training camp's coming back that time?
It's the 23rd is training camp, but
maybe
I don't know. Maybe they're doing something.
Is it a TV show they're doing, or is it like maybe a video?
Is it? I know Bradshaw's doing some Netflix documentary.
It might be like a Steelers video. They're getting us hyped up for the 21st. I don't know.
Well, those do hype me up. Like, those are good. I used to get them every year.
That's just a picture of the women's bathroom in the old Three River Stadium. Why?
I remember when they used to. I remember when they used to hand out, when you go to the home opener every year, and they would hand out last year's highlight videos. You know what I mean? So instead of one, I'd get like 5 or 6. I'd be carrying them to my car.
Like pull back in the middle with all the DVDs. Well, guys, it wasn't fun.
It was a great show. I don't know what they're doing exactly. They just put them on their Twitter. So
you know what that is? That's a symphony, and they're doing an orchestra. Forged in Pittsburgh. And then they're going to do like orchestra.
Yeah, definitely. No, I'm looking forward to the season's coming around the corner. We're getting there. You guys are doing great things on your podcast. We do this every single Tuesday and my Wednesday before I go to work.
When we get people that give us cash, when we get 500, Steely McBeam will be punched. He'll be like, "Thanks, guys," and I'm telling you, it's going to be huge.
You're gonna get him on the show, are you?
Well, no, I'm going to dress up as Steely McBeam every time someone gives us $1, and I'll just put it I'll be like, "Hi, guys."
A new logo? If they do a new logo, that they won't.
No.
There's no way they're doing the logo.
No.
Maybe it is the announcement of the helmet. Possibly. I think it might be the helmet.
Maybe it's Aaron Rodgers just putting the helmet on and waving at everybody.
Black helmet. Don't go gold helmet. You guys know I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I think it might be a new helmet. Anyways, that was fun. All right, guys, that's it. We're all done. Thank you as well to Z for the 99 and Claude for the $2. You guys are unbelievable to send me coin to help me to go to Dublin this year, and also probably help me to go to Pittsburgh as well, because there's some fucking things happening in the next few years. But that was a great show. We had almost over 18 or 20 in the chat for a time that's really quiet and dead, nothing happening. We went back to celebrate Pittsburgh Steelers history.
Didn't you say you didn't know what you were going to talk about tonight, and then we're already going longer than we ever did?
I just thought we'd celebrate Pittsburgh, and then we did all our stories. So
it's the greatest it's the greatest sports franchise of all time. I don't care what anybody says. I do not care. F the Yank. I don't care nothing. This is the greatest franchise of all time.
And we have 6 Super Bowls where the Bengals and Browns have 0.
Yeah.
Imagine being a Bengals fan, 59 years.
I can't.
59 years, and they have never won one.
I would punch that quarterback in the mouth. What's his name? Burrows.
Joe Burrows?
Yep, punch him in the mouth.
All righty. All right. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Bubba. And we'll see you guys later. See you guys next time.
Peace.
I'll see you guys later.
Hey, Rod.
Got the light. Left the light on. See you later. Bye.